No way. So I should in theory be streaming right now. Oh my god, excellent connection. That I did not expect. Um oh holy shit. Oh, this is so cool. Oh my god, it's so much cooler than recording because you know why? Now if I like say the N-word or something of that nature, I'm gonna be cancelled and this is like so much more exciting than just like pausing. You see me like press some random button really often when recording while I'm pausing all the time whenever I need to type in something in a description or something of that nature. So why stream? Because I have a lot of things that I want to make into videos, but they're not really videos. And I really like recording stuff and being overall public. So a stream is perfect for that. And also, the coolest part about me being a content creator is the fact that you get comments. Shut the fuck up, YouTube. The number one metric that I love the most is comments. Like, I go to my channel, and the thing that I love seeing the most are new comments. Whenever somebody says, like, anything, that's just great. So, a couple of things that I want to do. I don't guarantee that I'm gonna do all of them. But let's see, what do we have? So set up how laptop built in numpad will work. What I'm actually using is a laptop and it has a numpad, but the keyboard that I actually use to type in is an external one. So if I'm ever in a situation where I'm just using my laptop, I want to be able to use the numpad because as it is right now, I don't know how it works. Maybe like I have some hotkeys that I don't even know. Leader use saves without formatting. Rewrite key code getter into a single use class. This sounds the most interesting, and that maybe we'll see. So key code getter. There's a video that I want to create. I just haven't gotten around to it because of this. It's going to be called something like why Windows Spy is terrible and horrible. So, how does this work? Average view duration. So, is it like by me because I'm technically watching myself? I guess so. Interesting. Would be interesting to see these numbers change, and if they do, I'm gonna piss myself. Okay, so essentially, there's this awful program. I mean, it's good and I'm glad it exists. I just don't like it. Like, it's very ugly, but it gives you information about Windows, about your cursor, and other stuff called Windows Spy. It's there by default when you use a hotkey, but I hate it, which is why I created this to get win titles and other information like that. I also made coord getter, which gets your coordinates as well as the pixel color. I made, I think, this relative coord getter, which gives you relative coordinates. Something else, perhaps, I don't remember. And yes, key code getter. So let's try it out. I can type in L button 1. Wait, no, just L button. And it doesn't work because that key doesn't have an SC code. So this is a terrible show off. Okay, what has, let's say G. Now I get to have the C code and the VK code. I can click on all of these, or I can press F1, F2, F3, and if I check my clipboard, it copies them indeed. So it's now currently one huge function, and this is the way that I used to write my code in just huge functions using closures. because I didn't know how to use classes. Well, now I do, and I want to rewrite it into a single-use class. What's a single-use class? Let's go to info, getter, wait, chord info, right? Chord info. Essentially, a single-use class is a class that you activate by creating an instance, chord info. And this, if I actually had the inclusion, would just do everything that you need, but then you're not really supposed to call anything after that. So this is a single-use class, and it's very much not a thing that you should be doing, because you're not supposed to. A class is supposed to be an instance that you can then operate on. So creating a class, and while you instantiate it, it just does everything for you, is not really how you're supposed to use classes, but at the same time, you get to separate things very nicely. Well, it doesn't look very nice, but imagine that this is nice. Everything is separate, yet with this and with the instance, you can decide what variables are where. And then after, so you get chord info, let's bring it back. Well, you get the instance regardless, and then you can use that instance to get the handle of that GUI, for example, because I made that an instance variable. So yeah, single-use class. Essentially, I want to rewrite keyCodeGetter into a single-use class. Because this code is very old, and although it works, incredibly so actually, but it's very old and I would like to rewrite it. So, first of all, I want to check out how much resources everything takes. Jesus, but at least the memory isn't that big, but 30, god damn. What if instead of oh, I can't change it. Interesting. So I can only do it on startup. That's kind of strange. Woohoo! Consistency is key. Well, nevertheless, I like talking to myself in the mirror and stuff, so streaming to 0 viewers isn't exactly that mentally damaging. So, what do we start with? Whenever I approach old code that I don't remember, I just let my hands take over and do whatever I think is correct, whether or not it actually is the right thing. The thing is, it usually works. Hold up, let me vape. What I hate about making content is the fact that I can't make enough of it. My voice gets tired way too easily. The other day I recorded 3 videos straight, and then I was gay because my voice just fucked over. So I have to somehow chill out while streaming, because streaming is supposed to be long, and I do want to be long. Well, I want to stream longly. I don't want to be long. So what do we even do here? As usual, we have submit. So the thing that happens once you say yes, that's the thing that I want. We have a show, we have on events, we have a destruct method. Okay, so where do we start? We start at creating the GUI. Okay, so let's create a private method called create GUI, which will take nothing, and do something. Okay, these static variables probably won't be needed because you have an instance. Okay, so first of all, we create the actual GUI. Cool. And first of all, no, not G values is going to be this G for GUI. How do we actually name it? Getter? Info? No. G obj. Yeah, G obj makes sense. So what's this parameter? Options. I guess we don't need them. Key code getter. To be fair, it is named that. I would like to capitalize that. Dark mode and make font nicer. In case you don't know, no, not here. GUI. Yep. Oh, god damn it. These are the two functions that I made into methods for GUIs that just set the default font and like dark mode. For all of the GUIs that I use, I usually use these settings, which is why I abstracted them away. But now we gotta reload VS Code because it fucked. Okay, so first we create the GUI. I wonder if we actually should be doing anything else in the create GUI specifically. Getting the handle might be useful, and it probably is. Yes, it is. I don't need that line. I would rather just do it myself. This, Jesus, wow, it's so slow. Wow. How are my resources looking? Oh, goddamn. A literal third of my resources and 400 are being taken up by streaming. This is pretty difficult in my system. I hope it looks okay though. Yeah, it seems to be. God damn. Wow. I wonder if changing some settings. Right, I did set like ridiculous settings. Yeah, I set like 60 FPS and so on. Yeah, I should probably tone them down, but I can't right now, I think. Yeah, currently looking through settings in OBS, and I think I can't do it while I'm streaming. Okay, that's important to know. So we get the handle by this GUI object handle, right? Yep. Cool. So we have the handle. I don't think we even need these. Cool. So G values input. Huh, you know what I'm thinking of? I was thinking about how to, like, after I finish this stream, what do I do next? I save the VOD somehow? I was thinking of, well, how do I do, like, thumbnails? I probably won't. Maybe I will, like, eventually. But I think the whole idea of a stream is that what's most important is when you're actually doing the stream. And once you're out, like, you're just out. So I probably won't be making thumbnails. Yeah, fair enough. Okay, coming back. So we add an edit box. I see. So we add an edit box, and then we add the different texts That could be buttons, but I actually don't really use buttons because you can make text fields work as buttons, and they're easier to work with, I would say. Okay, so create GUI. Now we have a method called add edit. Seems reasonable. Oh, it's literally in the name. Like, yeah, no shit, it's reasonable because yeah. So let's go here. First of all, this. Do I even need it as an object? I might as well, right? gedit. Oh wait, I use a different like scheme. GC for GUI control. I'm like basically forcing myself to chill out my voice, because I'm not gonna last long if I like am crazy about it. So there's one thing that I find pretty bad. This is a color code. It should really be abstracted away. And if we go to GUI, yes. Wow, that's ridiculous. Why did this unfocus? Yeah, I really should like change how much my system requires for streaming. That's good information though. So, oh, this should be closed. Huh. Are these options? Doesn't even show me anything. Oh god damn it. Ooh, I actually, yeah, that makes sense. What if we do this? Now I should be getting parameter hints, but I don't. Great, amazing, zdorova. Essentially, what I'm thinking of is, can I use this? This uses the GUI object itself, not necessarily a GUI control. And I'm adding it to the GUI prototype, not the GUI object prototype. So I can't use my method there. I don't like it. I very much don't like it. But sure. I feel like for now it's okay. Maybe in the future I'll change it to something else. So let's add name. Sure, yeah. Add name is going to be this. grr, boop. And then this gc name feels a bit of a weird like choice for naming, but I think it's fine. Pretty cool that at least 2 people like jumped in to check out the stream. That's already like pretty nice. So what I hate here is the fact that it uses an absolute thing. And hold up, I know why, because it was important to me to make this like in the corner, in the upper right corner. I think it's going to be fine even if it's here for easier math. That's the entire reason. But keeping it at 400 is just a no-no. So how about I make it relative to the screen? Currently it takes up around a third, right? Like 1, 2, yeah, pretty much a third. Okay, that's good information. So width, and then we'll just a screen height, or rather width, and we divide it by 3. And that should be fine. I usually do this in a different way, where I use a screen DPI and then multiply it But what I'm using as a strategy here is do it shitty first, do it well second. And it's like a surprisingly good way to go about it. So we repeat the same thing for the other things. Add SC, this GC SC. Well, now this feels a bit weird, but okay. Oh, that was a whole line. Okay. I'm a Vim user. I have to like show off. Okay, D Control V down. Okay, now D V down. I mean, it did something. It's kinda cool. Like, if you've never used Vim before, that can be considered cool, I think. Oh, and before we go on, no, hold up, even cooler, DS boop. Yeah, that's even better. You know what? Let's toggle screencast mode and see. It's a bit too big, I think. Yeah, it's a bit too big, and I want it to be, what are you doing? What are you doing, VS Code? Literally, what are you doing? Okay, settings, screencast. 30, I think. Let's do like 26. How does 26 look? I don't think it changed shit. Okay, vertical offset. What if we do 0? I feel like it makes sense, actually. Commands and keys, Command title and keys. Command title and keys with the command prefixed by group. Oh, that's a lot. Command with grouped. Command title prefixed by its group. Command title. Keys. Let's do keys only. Why? Because, let me actually show off. Command and keys. So if I'm here and I press escape, you see this whole entire thing, and it's not really useful. So just keys should, in theory, yeah, that's great. But this is gonna take even more of my resources, which is not great. So xt, oh, I don't even have to say it. Wait, yeah, and then ds. Oh, that's brilliant. Now I can actually see what I'm doing. That's so cool. There's a brilliant lady who has a YouTube channel about, well, it's called Trans Voice Lessons. There's a term that she used, something along the lines of weak voice, like you don't use it enough. And I was like, oh, come on. Surely that can be true. I now realize that it's probably true for me, because my voice is getting tired way too fast and I'm not even using it that like much. I now realize that that width was not of the GUI window, but of that control specifically. So it might be something like annoyingly weird, which I would rather touch once I'm actually done. Hey Misha, so I'm working on my key code getter, which is this thing, but it's written as a entire function, like one single huge function, because I wrote it a long ass time ago. So I'm rewriting it into a class. So this is essentially refactoring for a future video, actually. Okay. X plus 100. I really don't like how I'm using, well, this is technically relative, but still in a way absolute. The bad thing about like old projects is the fact that you don't fucking understand whatever you are doing. So converting it to something newer. Is it not self-explanatory? Key code getter, it gets keys. Okay, so imagine you type in some like key name like caps lock. It gives you the SC code and the VK code. Then you can either click on caps lock to copy the name, or this to copy the SC code, and this, or use F1, F2, F3 while the window is active. So this is a more nice way to convert key codes, and naturally you can also specify the SC code. So this should be the, this. So, and also VK, not sure how they work. Shift, I guess that is. So, yeah, I've been using it for so long, but even though it doesn't have like any issues, it's very old. Hello, syntax error. Oh, nice, that's great. Prикольно. Okay, so currently I guess I'll just do the functions as they are now, and then decide what I actually do in terms of refactoring, because doing both refactoring and like moving actions at the same time is kind of confusing. What's this? I gotta change my settings. This is like so hard on my system, it's crazy. DS boop. Okay, great. Destruction. This is a whole thing. So used, what is this? And oh, what the fuck is this? Wait, hold up. The variable is literally called the what? That's hilarious. That's so funny. And also, this should be called is used. Oh my god. I suddenly overheated myself from laughing. God damn, ouch. Essentially, what the fuck is used? Let's try to understand this. I'm sure this is like some prowess of the intellectual mind of a programmer of the past. So, this is destruction. This function, or method, no, function actually. So, if you haven't used those, oh, why do I do this way? So the F1 to F3 functions only enable themselves once you have actually used the key code getter at least once. No, not this. So right now, if I press F1, F2, F3, nothing happens. Like, I don't copy those things. But once I actually use it at least once, then they start working. Why does that matter at all? Like, it makes sense as a feature, but I'm not sure if it's worth it. Well, I'll try to convert it. But what do I start with? God damn, submit is fucking huge. Wow. Let's actually read the comment, because I never read my own, or rather, I never write comments anymore. Get key returns a base 10 value. Yeah. Yes, sis, I agree. Let's hold up. Let's get to it. Hold up. Like this. Why does it not work? V. Here we go. This makes absolutely no fucking sense. I agree, sis. Yeah, it doesn't. Auto hotkey is really weird. Because in a couple of situations, it uses like hex, for example. So you use a function to get whatever value that actually is, but it doesn't give you hex, it gives you decimal, and you have to convert it to hex. And it's just auto hotkey. Why would you do that? That's so strange. So yeah, we have to do it ourselves. Jesus, this is so hyper specific, but at least it's relative. So let's also do the show function for now. It's going to be after create GUI. Show. Boop. You know what? I should be doing this entire thing in a branch. I should have created like a new branch so I could revert to it if I don't complete it. That's the use case of branches. I mean, yeah, but we're also talking about auto hotkey here. The language for people who at least supposedly shouldn't be knowing all that. Like, this is the type of language that you can do this in, run this, and it just works. So, overall, a language that helps you a lot, even in non-obvious situations. So I don't understand why it doesn't help me in something as obvious, in my opinion. Like, isn't that kind of strange? Like, I would find it more understandable in a better language. Yeah, I'm gonna just straight up say better. But auto hotkey? I feel like even something like C# would actually give you a value you would expect. So even that point is not really valid. Oh, wow. VS Code is suddenly very fast. Did I... No? The stream still works. Strange. Why did it suddenly... Yeah. Wow. It works, like, amazingly right now. Even though my CPU has... Okay, 37. 36. That's actually pretty good. Okay. So we show the object. I very much don't like this. Like, this is hyper specific. But yeah, I can get to it later. If it even matters. Like, some things I just care about too much. Like, sure, I realize this is not particularly good. But how often will things like these matter? And how much time do you spend configuring them? Good question. So, let's make sure that it works the way I think it does. Hold up. Okay, used, true. Where is the if check? Oh, that's actually kind of smart. So what's happening here is once we use it at least once, the essentially instance variable used, which should be is used, is now true. And once you try to destroy the GUI, it checks that variable. And if you use them, then that means you also have the hotkeys. So where do we define those? I guess in submit. This is this at least feels unnecessary complex. Yeah, exactly. I've been learning JavaScript today, and there's this horrible thing about it. I mean, it has many, um, but like I hate it. So in functions in JavaScript, you don't have to even pass the correct amount of arguments. So say your function has 3 parameters. You can pass 2, like nobody will stop you. I'll say more, you can pass more than 3. You can pass 4 to a function that takes 3 parameters or arguments. Like, what? And then I had the thought of, well, shouldn't you just throw an error then? And why would it help? Because it's a runtime error. It's not like it's helpful at all. You don't have compiler errors in JavaScript. And on a hotkey, at least, if I reloaded my script right now, which I won't do because I have non-working code right here, there are some errors that like appear immediately as you run the script. With JavaScript, this is less of a case, I feel like. Am I like ridiculous here? Uh-huh. Oh, thank you, Benny Ben. Oh, that's great. Always like, it's so nice to hear that my things actually help people. What is like the most useful thing that you found through me? I wonder, I'm interested. I'm so confused by used. It's not a property because it's not a class yet. The thing that it was previously is, well, it was one huge function. Oh, hell yeah. Infos is probably my most used now class. I agree, like it's so useful. There's a video actually that I haven't released yet, but it's going to release in like 2 days. Essentially, now I store all of my notes in infos. So if we do this and type in ffmpeg, I have a list of notes, and then I can click on it, and I have that note in an info. And also, yeah, state bulbs, also love it. Once you implement the registers, oh yeah, the runner as well. Fuck yeah. Ah. Oh, I love this actually. Oh, that's nice. Like implementing the idea of Vim into on a hotkey, like actually typing in the register. Fuck yeah, I love that. What I personally have is just a hotkey that shows all of my registers, but I very much see actually like wanting to type in that command instead. Very valid. Fuck yeah. Like, that's a great like idea. What's great about on a hotkey is that you can like have an idea, implement it, show it off, and then other people may take it and like use it differently. Use it in a bit of a different way for different purposes. It's just so exciting. I want to use the registers for the FT functionality. Huh. So using the clipboard, like find a letter and implement that function. Honestly, I have no idea how that would work. Hold on. I think it does. I just think the idea is, I find it like, yeah, absolutely. They like go onto or before the character. How the fuck would you do it though? Like, this is not a diss on your idea. This is just me figuring out how I would approach it. And I'm really not sure. So essentially, the idea is to copy the clipboard from the registers, and then search the letter in the clipboard and somehow get the cursor there. Interesting. The idea is to copy the clipboard from the registers, and then search the letter in the clipboard. Okay, well, there's this cool thing about files. Oh fuck yeah, I love this about streams. Getting sidetracked. Oh, that's the coolest thing about it. Okay, so imagine you have a file. You do, okay, file obj is file open. Lol. File open, what do we do? File name, or this should be called file path. It's not just the file name, it's the fucking file path. Thugby. Fuck you, Thugby. Make a better extension. I'll eventually make a pull request fixing all of this, because I want to know the type of this parameter, for example, but he never specifies them. Regardless, so you specify the path, say it's like test.txt, right? Whatever register you actually want, and it should be registered, like, imagine I have the correct thing, get path, and then you specify your register. You should be like using the built-in registers thing rather than getting the path yourself. It's going to be more consistent and easier to maintain your project afterwards. And then you specify what? Flags. You specify flags, I think R to read. And then file object, you can seek distance. So you can use seek to move where your cursor is. So, for example, I open this file. Oh, Jesus, I'm so sorry. I usually pause for that. Not girly at all. So I open it. So I opened this file, and how does it know where my cursor is? Because it didn't start at the start. It started where I last was. So essentially, you can use seek to move your cursor in a file. So the next time you open that file, your cursor is on that space. So you can use this to move your cursor. Then the easy part is figuring out how and where you actually want to move it. I mean, I say easy, it's not really, but it's an interesting idea. Another challenge I'm facing now. Oh. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I guess function objects do seem like the way to go here, but even with them, you're either left to implement too much stuff or not have enough. Or maybe I'm misunderstanding, because right now I'm very lost on Like how? Essentially, are you talking about the registers like changing? What do I have with text? This, sure. Um, oh, I think I understand what you mean. Like, you do, like, you somehow access the registers, say, like, in register A, do D this, and then it deletes. Huh, that is incredibly interesting. I just, like, open the files themselves personally. Like, I open it and then change it and then close it because I couldn't be bothered, but your project is very interesting. I want to make a variable that contains a function that will replace after every key is pressed, but only after the D. I do wish my D was replaced. I want to make a variable that contains a function, okay, that I will replace after every key is pressed, but only after the D. I'm sorry, I do not understand. Okay, yeah. To clear something up, we might be talking about two different things. Are you talking about the Vim thing, specifically, or the AutoHotkey thing? Because I don't understand what you're doing. Ah. Oh yeah, it's kind of like of the idea of maps having function objects, and then depending on the character, that character is a function object that, for example, takes a parameter of another function object. Ooh, fuck, that's so interesting. Yeah, but the fact that it's like tough to explain means that it's an interesting project to approach. Yeah, this is interesting. Huh. Yeah, good luck on that. Sounds cool. Coming back to this, though. Oh, coming back to Misha's question, actually. Uh, what was I on? Oh, okay. Yes, used. So, this is essentially an instance variable because it used to be in one huge function, so I'm using closures here to make that work. And let's see. Yeah. Like, this now is in the upper function as well, which is why this can work. It's strange that it does, I realize, but it is what it is. I'm surprised myself, but it does work. Yeah. It'd probably give some error if it didn't. Maybe I'm wrong. I did write that a long ass time ago. I could have been just wrong. Yeah. Artifact of refactoring. Like, I think it still works, but I haven't looked at the code in such a long time. Hold up, you're rewriting them? Jesus. Oh my god. Sell that. I mean, to be fair, many people have told me, oh my god, you have to sell whatever that is to me many times, and I found it annoying because who the fuck is going to buy it? But kinda sell that. Mm-mm. Yeah, I have thought about like making a more beginner friendly tutorials, but I realized is that it's just not my job. Like it's not for me. Um, all of the videos that you see in my channel are something that I recently discovered or did or worked on or refactored and so on. So basically something that I am interested in that I'm showing you off. Um, and I'm just not interested in explaining how hotkeys work, for example, or the differences between V1 because I don't use V1 anymore and I despise it. So um, I just like I wouldn't make a video that I'm not interested in making because I think it would be a worse video. I think it's noticeable. So I'm interested in, well, usually interested in somewhat complex subjects, and that's what I talk about on my channel. Um, so I don't really talk about the more simple stuff because I forgot what's difficult about it. Programming is difficult, like it's true. It's just that I'm so out of touch with like beginner type stuff. A lot of complex stuff is now obvious to me. So like I would have like I would make a bad job making beginner friendly videos because it would be like, oh, and as you know, like you can use different quotes when you need to have one quote inside of another. So I would say something like this, which is very obvious to me, but then the beginner who's watching that video is like, no, actually that's not obvious, and the video is like too fast for them, for example. Um, Basically, I wouldn't make a good job at beginner friendly content. I think I'm better off explaining things of a higher level. But I would love if someone else in the community of Hotkey, for example, started making content for beginners because I think there isn't enough content about V2 for beginners. Mm-hmm. Ah. Oh yeah, that's useful. I don't wanna like break your dreams, but there is an extension called Vimium for Chrome, and there's something along those lines for Firefox as well. I mean, I say this, but I would also create my own tool as well. I don't often. I mean, I'm using. Okay, this is not a good example. But instead of like, I don't know, using my phone like a normal person, I use. Wait, how is it called? Turn down, right? I use a terminal timer. Well, in this case, it's a stopwatch. And I made a video on this recently. It's public, I'm pretty sure. Like, it's pretty insane to be using a clock inside of the terminal. Like, too far gone, in my opinion. Instead of just using my phone, or maybe using Windows clock, so I also make my own tools. Really? Is it not that good? In terms of functionality, I think it's actually like surprisingly good. But it was way too slow for me, which is why I don't use it. Fuck, such a difficult word. Wind. Jesus. No, actually, my caps lock is escape. And here's another thing that I wanted to show off. I just didn't have a way, like an outlet to show that off. So, how is it called? Windows something? Yes, Windows keyboard remap. So, this should be like reg. Oh, okay. So, essentially, I remapped my keyboard using the fucking registry. And I have a video on that. And as I usually do, I'll leave that in the description. But in a more jank, I guess, way, reg remap. B reg, that's a lot. I think that's that. Yeah, it should be that. This should work. Yeah, I can get that. Absolutely. I've made a lot of my own tools because the built-in ones, like Windows Spy, is just not enough for me. So, essentially, I made remaps of my keyboard inside of the registry. So now, even if I exit my script, caps lock is still going to be escape. Escape is still going to be F15, I think, or something of that nature. I also made scroll lock to be F14 or something, and made a Windows key on my right side. Makes sense. I've heard a lot of people remap caps lock to control, but to me, like, moving my pinky on the left control isn't nearly as difficult as it is to reach escape, which is why my caps lock is escape. And like in Vim you use it really often, so I decided on that. Oh, and the reason why I don't remap it in AutoHotkey is because all of my AutoHotkey hotkeys that maybe use Control, which I also remapped, or Windows, if I remapped those in AutoHotkey, then it wouldn't recognize those because of the input levels, and sometimes even changing the input levels doesn't work enough. But if even Windows thinks that I'm pressing like delete right now, when in reality I'm pressing escape, then I can fool AutoHotkey as well and code it in a way that's like easier to maintain, I guess. Yeah, a lot of people like talk about power toys. I've never actually used that. I'm just another hotkey user. That's all that I needed ever. But power toys is good, and indeed funny name. Got an efficient way to disable all keys. Not configuring the cell. Yeah, HK is better. I mean, if you don't know programming and HK, then it's like a wonderful program. But if you do know HK and you can programming in it, you just have more power over how things are done. For example, let's say you want to run some app like path, this points to file, I think. Oh, it's not there since a long ass time ago. VS Code should be exit path or something of that nature. Like you run an app, maybe in PowerToys, you make a hotkey to run that app, but do you have a guarantee that it will activate as a window? Not necessarily. Sometimes you run some app and it just starts blinking orange here. And like, how is that useful? Especially Discord. Discord is horrible with this. But the hotkey, you can also do win wait, that's win title, blah blah blah, and then win activate, and then win wait active. Now you have a guarantee that not only does VS Code run, but it also becomes the active window. That's what you can do without a hotkey. You have more precision, I guess. Okay. By all of the moving away, I forgot everything. Okay, so I want to do a cool thing where I create a branch. Let's try to do that. So first of all, git stash not sure how it works. So all of the changes are now reverted to what they were before. I now checkout, wait, hold up, git checkout -b key code getter git stash pop, git stash pop. Hell yeah. And now when I do this, brilliant, and now I'm on a different branch. And if I git checkout main, this should all go away, and it doesn't, which is not how it's supposed to work. Do stashes like apply to everything? Do they? Okay, let's figure this out, I guess. Okay, so now I am on main. Okay, git branch. Yeah. This is dangerous, but yes, this is dangerous. So I'm gonna ask ChatGPT. I meant, oh. How to disable all hotkeys? If you can afford to use admin privileges, then you can use the function block input. But if you can't, you can do some weird math, I guess, with the character and make hotkeys that do nothing. See, that's what I told you. I like ran Discord, yet it didn't really become the active window. Let me show off what I mean by that. So, you do something like loop, and then I'm not sure of the codes. Let's say 107 minus 34, where 107 is the last key that you want to disable, and this is the first one. And then you create a hotkey, no, not hotkey, yes, key name, and that key name is character a index. Well, no, not a index. So starting from this, so let's say I is 34, and we use 34, and then we I++, hotkey, callback, this, that does, shit all. Essentially this, you use characters to go through all of the keys that you want to disable. And then you can just figure out what character has for each character, and you can use this instead of block input. And this doesn't require you to have admin privileges, but takes a bit more effort. Yeah, absolutely. True. But I feel like, yeah, I feel like without the knowledge of them, it would be more difficult, because I feel like I could understand how to use the actual character faster than I would SC codes. Wait, really? Can you not? Blah? Oh, you just can't. Maybe. Oh, and Control Enter does shit all. Cool. Wow. Yeah, that's pretty annoying. I guess, or that. There is some new Vim plugin. Well, first of all, let's type a number. In NeoVim and Vim, you can press Ctrl A to increment a number and Ctrl X to decrement a number. So let's copy and then like 9 paste. Now, if I select them all and do G Ctrl A, all of them get incremented like this. Very useful, right? So there's a plugin for Vim that implements that for characters as well. So say you have A, YYP, 8P, and then you do something like this, and it increments that in terms of characters. That would make it way easier to just make this, and it's not be an issue. But I don't have it installed. And maybe I'm just straight up lying. Maybe it doesn't actually exist. I'm not quite sure, but I think I saw it somewhere. One thing I find confusing is that this shows 3, but this shows 2. I guess this counts me as well. But yeah, right, why I opened Discord to begin with. I want to ask ChatGPT branches branches essentially, what's the issue here? Okay, first of all, let's git checkout. That's not gonna key. Can you autocomplete, please? No, really? I don't remember it. I have memory of a fish. Git checkout key code getter. Okay. Right, so if I git reset hard head on the main branch, does do any other branches reset as well? I feel like that's a good question. Makes sense. I just wanted to check that for sure. Brilliant. Now, other than that, app actions. What is app actions? What did I do there? Oh, yeah. So I have like hotkeys, both on the mouse and on the keyboard that open apps. One of the oldest things I've ever done. And for the stream, I disabled the Telegram one. It doesn't work right now because that I really don't want to show by mistake. And here I can't pause. Okay, goodbye. Good luck with reinventing Vim because goddamn, that is a lot. So, I'm currently on this branch. Let's get checkout main, and now what we can do is git reset hard head, and what file, tools, wait, no, I actually need file, key code getter, yes. Really? You can't? Huh. How do you restore a file to head? Removing all of the changes in the working directory. I thought you could. Genuinely thought it could. Turns out no. Git restore. This feels Jesus. This feels technically correct, but not exactly what I'm looking for. Huh. So okay, git restore. No, not git reset. Git restore. And then file key code getter. Key code getter. So, oh, brilliant. Indeed, that's what it does. Perfect. So now on the main branch, oh, that's cool. I love this. And now I can get checkout to key code getter. Should have made an easier name. And now I should have those changes. Why do you share? Bro! Why do you share? You're separate! What the fuck? Misha, you lied. God damn it. That is incredibly annoying. It restored the file on the other branch as well. I was trying to make it retain the changes, the working directory rather, on one branch and have them different on the main branch. Or does it have to be commits? If it has to be commits, it's just incredibly annoying. Surely branches keep your working directory as well, right? If they didn't, it would be stranges. Really? Why the fuck do I need them then? What? They're fucking useless then. Okay, sure, like maybe different developers like working on the same thing, but what I was looking for, fuck, do I have to use stashes then? I guess. That is so incredibly annoying and stupid. Fuck. I'm never gonna use branches ever again. Okay, well, to be fair, I didn't do that much. Thankfully. Well, now I know to use stashes instead. Okay, first of all, what even am I looking at? I mean, I kind of half expected this, but I'm more so crying about the fact that branches don't work the way I thought they did. How the fuck do you delete a branch? GB git branch delete? Oh, yeah, delete. D, okay. Okay. Git branch delete key code getter. Because there's no need for me to have this if what I mean is a stash. Can I I think I can. Like, stash, get stash. No, not get status. Get stash. Can I get stash only staged changes? Why? That's strange. That's what streaming on YouTube is like, I guess. I don't know, it's just a meme. Oh, no, I won't. Because at the end of the day, it's a skill issue. My entire issue. Yeah, skill issue. Get good. It's in the name, get. Like, I should just get good. It's my problem. Not the fact that I'm using git in the terminal. I should just know more. That's it. So, no, I won't. Can you get stash only staged changes? Or am I looking for something too specific here? Essentially, I want to only get stash the changes that I made here to undo them. Fair enough. No, I mean, that's too. Can you get stash? Wait, does it say that I'm streaming? No way. What is this? Yeah. Wow, that's cool. That's so cool. Is that where you figured that out, Misha? Oh. Huh. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, it's gonna be faster than waiting for it to give me an answer. Get stash. Help. Boop. Get stash. No keep index. Include untracked. I'm looking through it and it has a lot of stuff. Only untracked, no. Ooh, options, great. Include, no. Only untracked, no. Well, regardless, I think I was asking for something. Can I provide path spec? I can. Get stash, but only with push. Fair enough. And I can provide the message with M. Okay. Okay, so let's get stash, push. Wait, no. First of all, let's git reset. Yeah, yes, just git reset. Which, as far as I'm aware, just unstages all changes. And it seems to have done exactly that. So git stash, push, great. We're part of the way there. Git stash, push, now what? I forgot. Git stash push, oh, message, and the message is going to be key code getter. Perfect. And now we provide path spec, which is key code getter, and that should create a stash and revert it. That's perfect. Oh my god. Yeah, okay, fuck yeah. See, I succeeded. Thank you. I'm gonna try to pronounce your name. Niranhan Gopal. Is that at least slightly correct? I'm usually quite proud of how not horribly I pronounce names, but I could have butchered your name, so sorry if I did. Oh, that's cool. I love to see like the fact that my stuff like appears for some people's recommended. That's like so cool. When I name my videos, I name them in a way where they're very easily searchable, but I probably underestimate how much like recommendations do for me. But regardless, to come back on the point that no, I won't use a Git client. It wasn't that hard, like learning, oh, git stash push, then you create a message, then you provide the path. Like, once I know something, I end up like using it, I guess. Ooh, completely like different thing. Oh, I love this. Like, doing a stream is so cool because I don't have to like finish any single thing. I can just come back to it later because there are a lot of things that I should be doing, but I don't care enough about them if I'm not also converting them into content, like the key code getter. So I can just stream them and I can talk kind of with myself, but not really. Oh, that's cool. It was on your homepage too. Bro, I'm a Vim user. I like learning when it's hard. That's what she said, literally, goddamn. I like hard things and I like figuring them out. Like, I like going to some random file and having to somehow find very hyper-specific things. I like fucking around with Lua to fix some hyper-specific issue. Let me show you what I'm talking about. This. I like when it's hard. It's just more satisfying, I guess. It's more satisfying to do things in the terminal and figure out different combinations of letters and what they do than it's to just use a graphical one. I don't want to. Like, I guess that's the approach of most people, and fair enough, but it's not really my approach. Whenever I learn something, I like uh, I enjoy the difficulty of it. I want to be hyper specific. I want to go in depth and understand stuff. This is the reason why I'm not using Visual Studio for C Sharp. Not only is Visual Studio horrible, and not only am I obsessed about VS Code, but also doing something like the actual command that Visual Studio is actually doing is just so much more fun to me. I don't know, like, it's more interesting to me. I feel like if I went with whatever was easiest, like all the time, or at least even most of the time, I wouldn't reach places that I have. A lot of my programming knowledge comes from doing things the hard way for close to no reason, so I'd like to stay that way. Now, what I wanted to do is changing how the stashes look. Yeah. It should be somewhere here. So it uses modified. What are you talking about, Elisa? Let me explain. So I want to change this color to orange because in my mind stashes feel and look orange for some reason. Don't make me explain why, I don't know. And I want to change this to orange. So I'm looking for how this part of my shell prompt is called in the par level 10k config. Wait, pink? Oh, because clean, because it actually uses clean, right. What is this? If local branch name, okay, that's the branch name, okay. If tag name, what is a tag? I've never used tags, I realized. Show tag, yeah, I don't know what tags are. I've never used them, I don't think. Display the current git commit if there's no branch in what? Hold up. How does that work? Let's Z shell. That's so cool! Oh my god! That is incredible. Okay, this stream turns into a shell configuring stream. Wow, I didn't know about this. This is so much cooler. Okay, so it uses meta. Meta uses white. I'll change it eventually, but maybe not immediately now. Tools display, yes, that's the current commit. It uses clean. I might want it to be yellow. Makes incredible sense to me. First of all, what happens if I double click? Exactly what I want. Mwah. Technically, whenever I need, well, let's glow. Yeah, so it's essentially head. Anytime I need a hash in a command, I will usually just specify head. However, still, I feel like having the commit hash in my shell prompt is just nice in a weird way. Now there is a commit hash here. That's it. Tak. So so I want it to not use clean. What do I want it to use? I want to use yellow. In that case, I'll just create a thing that says yellow to be like clear about it. Yellow. Oh, I guessed. Cool. F boop boop. And first let's make a mark, and then go to colors. I use boop. And use yellow. Let's go back. Fuck, I love them. Boop boop boop. I don't have to explain it. Tak. Brilliant. So now let's go back there. What is this? Tags. I don't know what they do. Show tracking branch name if it differs from local branch. Do that, I guess. Does it? Oh, that was because the prompt itself loads immediately. That was the case because I was reloading my shell. However, I do see that it loads slower, I think because of the commit hash. So let's actually try. Oh no, that's just the case. Yeah, it takes about the same time, so it doesn't actually matter. So let's change clean to yellow and see how it looks. Oh, I love this. I love this. That's so cool. Okay, in that case, I will also change meta to yellow. I think it will match nicely. Yeah, I love this. I absolutely love this. I'm not yet sure if I actually need it. Yeah. It might be because I'm streaming and it uses more resources. Like, what do we have? 100 in CPU, cool. 62 still. Okay, it's a bit less. And a lot of memory. When I'm like on and about with my stuff, it takes far less. Like, yeah, this is way too slow. Usually it's not the case. So, usually it's not the case. Okay, so now it shows me the commit hash, which, yeah, not that particularly useful, but very cool, and I like seeing it. Let's create a fake background job, something like this. I love this, yeah, indeed. So, what are the changes? Now, prompt, okay, add commit hash and make it yellow. Cool. But I actually wanted to change the oh yeah, this stash, but instead of clean, I want that to change to orange. Let's once again make a mark. What is orange? I don't have orange here. Let's create orange then. Orange. Let's create another mark. Colors I use. Let's create another mark here. Orange. Let's go here. Boop, boop, boop. And go back here. I don't use marks enough, and I should really be using a lot more of them. Cool. So now it's orange. And if I do this, I do realize that I use like a lot of colors now. Let's try to make up more parts of my prompt to see it in its entirety. Let's touch ASDF. Let's stage this change. Oh, okay, not here then. ASDF, let's go to dot files. Oh, but it doesn't have stashes here. But essentially, this is a lie. But regardless, I actually do like it still, I think. When I first added the time in, it felt weird, but after I removed the seconds, I actually don't notice it anymore. And having the commit hash here, yeah, I think I like it. Maybe eventually I won't be. Maybe I'll remove it after some time. And then change this to yellow, for example. That would kind of make sense to me, actually. But for now, yeah. What are the changes? Oh, it's not like I'm gonna see them. Oh, that's false. Wow, that's so cool. It supports even that. That's crazy. Okay, so what I did... Okay, yeah. I made the git stash... Git stash symbol is now orange. Let's push that. And I'm actually going to end stream. I should be sleeping at this point. So, goodbye, everyone. The VOD watchers, I hope you had fun too. Streaming is quite a different experience from recording. So I quite like it. I'm going to be doing more of that in the future. Goodbye!